Hi guys, it's Simon at Carlos Capital Markets with the daily direction predictions for February the 20th, 2017. So, firstly, I've got to apologise and say I haven't been around for the last week or so. My problem was my PC decided to just fall asleep and die. I think I used it a bit too much. The good old Dell system just went, you know what, I've had enough, simple as that. So I decided to go out and get myself a little Xeon dual Xeon, I think 8 core per processor or something, you know. It's a bit more powerful than what I had before. So yeah, so hopefully we won't die so much now. So I'm sorry about that. Unfortunately, that's the way life goes sometimes. Anyway, so back to the daily direction predictions. I have dollar MXN at the moment, I do, for tomorrow. I have got copper up as well, but I'll go for that. It's only a maybe. I'll explain later why that's a maybe. But let's go through this this dollar one first of all. So, really, quite literally, this is going to be a short-term trade. So, as you can see here, the monthly. Let's take that off for the moment. The monthly here is definitely looking to have a pullback. It needs a pullback. We've been in a bull trend since the end of 2015, pretty much, on the monthly chart, and it's only had 4 or 5 bearish candles, nothing more than that in the month, so it needs a pullback, simple as that. The weekly shows the same, although it just shows you the trend now. So the monthly was a run, this is now a trend, this is. So a pullback to the weekly 50 would be quite ideal, maybe a little bit earlier than that, I don't know, but you know, we're looking for a pullback, we are. But right now, on the daily, I see a little opportunity to take it long. Just a very small opportunity to take it long. Let me explain what this is. So, for us to take this long, for us to look at a bearish trend, we need a trend change, we do. At the moment, this chart here does not represent a trend change. And let me explain why. This has made a double bottom, this has, on this level here. Actually made a triple bottom, technically. But this idea as a double bottom, nice and clearly. So, for us to have a trend change, we either need a lower low or a lower high. Now this is just fell out the sky, it hasn't pulled back yet, so I'm going to trade the pullback to create the first lower high. So as you can see, I've got two levels here, 20.2 and 20.8. I got that as a zone. Let me explain why. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 1 touch, 2 touch. It is a third touch, but it did get disrespected afterwards, and this is another touch here, but had disrespected afterwards as well. So now we come down to the bottom here. I think we can pull back up to this area here. The daily 50 is in the way. I'm not going to lie about that either, clearly. But it's been disrespected multiple times now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, and you ain't even come back down to July last year, July 2016, that we got some respect there. But then it chopped through again a couple of times. So myself personally, even if it does respect it, we want to get out around about here anyway. So my initial target on the hour chart is actually, just to show you here, 27.85. That's what I'm looking for, really. Get up before the key level of 2.8. Now, you can clearly see why I like the chart. Let's go back to daily quickly. Why I like this. It's decelled. It's pulled back in the right direction. We've got a key level. We know it's going to be a short-term trade. I wouldn't want to swing trade this. The risk reward is absolutely rubbish for swing trading, but it's got a bit of bullish presence there now, and it's just going to be a pullback just to this area here, just before the 20.8 level. So let's go back to the 4-hour chart. What I like about this chart is this, and the key thing about this is it was a Friday candle here as well. So if people were closing their trades out, longs were closing their trades out, they stopped at the 4-hour 50. And that, to me, presents, I believe, a bullish sentiment there. So we're going to break above it. We pull back down towards it, produce a doji on the 4-hour 50, and yet people will be shutting their trades down, their long positions down. So if everyone shuts all their positions down, shorts will be shutting and longs will be shutting, we still closed higher and we still tested the 4-hour 50. So for me personally, this 4-hour 50 has been respected quite well. We got just on this area alone here, in the last month or so, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Could say it's respect there, not really. There's definitely 4 respects there, 5 there. Break above, now we're retesting it here. I think that's quite nice. Pop down to the 1-hour chart, and I have an area of key. I say key level. It's an intraday level. It is this area here somewhere. It's right by the pivot, actually. Friday's pivot. If If you zoom out a bit more, you should just see it a bit cleaner. There we are. It's just an area, it's not the best in the world, but it just gives you some form of structure there. And what we're looking for here would be this. This is a clear higher high here. These are the highs here. Then it's pulled back on the 1 hour chart. This has made the first lower high. So for me, it's actually changed its trend already. So personally myself, I would like to get in this trade, and I will enter live here with this rather large stop. So this Fibonacci pullback is actually the 618 covers this area here, plus the Friday's pivot, plus all the EMAs. So that's what I'm doing there, and I like to get out before the 20.8 area. So that's 20.705. That's what I'm looking for here. So when the market opens on Sunday evening, I will be waiting for the spread to drop down a bit first, and then I'll enter, and that's what makes me. I think that looks quite good there. So the copper now. Let me explain copper. For me, copper looks quite nice to go long here. I'd only do it as a power move as such, but a short-term trade. The reason why, the monthly, we did close above the monthly 50, but we got a lot of deceleration there, so it's not the best in the world for that. The weekly, it obviously clearly broke, like previous week, it broke above and closed above the 2.7 area, and it's cut. So although we've got an inside bar here on the weekly, personally myself, inside bar was just formed by this bit here. It was the pullback. So what I'm waiting for on the pullback now would actually be a bit more deceleration. So if this is just a doji / low test. It's not good enough for me. I want to see deceleration, and what that means is another low test or doji or something like that, just so I know they're expecting 2.70. And obviously, if you pop down to the intraday chart, I'll be looking at something like, say, a rise up here, come down here, and test this area here, 2.7 again, and have a 1 hour inverse head and shoulder pattern. That would be quite nice actually. And then I would ignore the EMAs just because the pattern's there instead. But that's going to take probably a couple of days for that to happen. So that's why I say it's a wait and see one. Glad to be back, and I hope to speak to you soon, guys. Take care.